In the ever-evolving landscape of late-night television, where monologues crackle with timely wit and celebrity interviews blend glamour with genuine revelation, few moments resonate as profoundly as the resurgence of a beloved staple: the announcement that Jimmy Kimmel Live would resume broadcasting after a contentious hiatus sent ripples of joy through the entertainment community, a collective exhale after weeks of uncertainty. At the epicenter of this jubilation stood Stephen Colbert, the erudite host of The Late Show on CBS, whose own program has long been a beacon of satirical brilliance. On a crisp evening in late September, Colbert took to his stage, his trademark bow tie impeccable and his eyes alight with camaraderie, to share not just thoughts, but a profound sense of relief and solidarity for his fellow late-night titan Jimmy Kimmel. This wasn't mere professional courtesy, it was a testament to the unspoken bonds that tether these comedic warriors, forged in the fires of live broadcasts, ad-libbed punchlines, and the relentless pursuit of laughter in turbulent times. To understand the weight of Colbert's words, one must first unravel the saga that led to this dramatic pause. Jimmy Kimmel, the affable 57-year-old anchor of ABC's venerable franchise, found himself thrust into an unforeseen storm earlier that summer. What began as a seemingly innocuous segment on his show, a sharp, off-the-cuff remark aimed at conservative commentator Charlie Kirk during a broader discussion on political absurdities, spiraled into a firestorm of backlash. Kirk, a prominent voice in right-leaning media circles known for his unyielding stances on cultural flashpoints, became the unwitting focal point of Kimmel's observational humor. The comment, laced with Kimmel's signature blend of sarcasm and exasperation, struck a nerve, igniting accusations of partisanship from vocal critics who argued it crossed lines of decorum in an era of polarized discourse. Social media erupted, hashtags trended with calls for accountability, and pressure mounted on Disney, the corporate overlord of ABC, to address the perceived slight. Within days, the network suspended Kimmel indefinitely, a decision that stunned fans and peers alike, framing it as a necessary recalibration amid heightened sensitivities around comedy's role in public life. The suspension wasn't just a professional setback, it was a seismic event in the late-night ecosystem. Jimmy Kimmel Live, which debuted in 2003 as a scrappy upstart challenging the dominance of established giants like David Letterman and Jay Leno, had evolved into a cultural juggernaut. Kimmel's tenure, marked by viral meme tweets, heartfelt Oscar-hosting gigs, and poignant segments on personal milestones like his son's health battles, had cemented the show as a touchstone for millennial and Gen Z viewers. Its absence left a void, guest bookings evaporated, writers' rooms went dark, and the rotating parade of fill-in hosts, from comedy veterans to rising stars, struggled to replicate its intimate alchemy. Hollywood's response was swift and vocal. A-listers like George Clooney and Mindy Kaling penned open letters of support, while industry insiders decried the move as a chilling effect on free expression. Protests, both digital and analog, proliferated, with fans gathering outside ABC studios in Burbank, chanting slogans that blended levity with advocacy. "Laughter isn't a crime" became an impromptu rallying cry. Enter Disney's reversal, a corporate pivot as swift as it was surprising. After internal deliberations that reportedly involved high-level consultations with legal teams and creative consultants, the entertainment behemoth announced the show's reinstatement. The decision, framed as a commitment to balanced storytelling and robust dialogue, restored Kimmel to his desk, effective immediately, with the program slated to beam back onto screens on September 23. The news broke like a sunrise after a long eclipse, eliciting cheers from production crews and sighs of relief from network executives. For Kimmel, it was vindication wrapped in validation, a reminder that his brand of unfiltered authenticity honed over 2 decades, remained indispensable. Yet, in the immediate aftermath, it was Colbert who emerged as the voice of the moment, his monologue opener a masterclass in empathetic eloquence. Colbert's Late Show segment, aired on September 22, opened with his characteristic flourish, a nod to the grind of the gig, acknowledging the 160-odd episodes they churn out annually like clockwork soldiers in a war against tedium. "We do like 160 of these a year or something," he quipped, his voice carrying that familiar lilt of self-aware exaggeration, "and when I have the chance, it's always nice to start the show with some good news." The audience, primed for the usual barrage of topical barbs, leaned in, sensing the pivot to something warmer. "Well, just a few hours before we taped this broadcast," he continued, his tone shifting to one of genuine buoyancy, "we got word that our long national late nightmare is over, because Disney announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to air on ABC tomorrow, Tuesday night." The phrasing, "long national late nightmare," was pure Colbert. A riff on Gerald Ford's post-Watergate bomb, repurposed for the absurdities of showbiz, eliciting peals of laughter that underscored the shared absurdity of their profession. But Colbert didn't stop at levity. He delved deeper, weaving in layers of personal and professional kinship. He spoke of Kimmel not as a rival in the ratings scrum, but as a brother in arms, someone who'd navigated the same treacherous waters of live TV, from flubbed cues to the existential dread of bombing a cold open. "Jimmy's been through the ringer," Colbert reflected, his expression softening, "and coming out the other side stronger? That's what makes him one of the greats." He extended congratulations not just to Kimmel, but to the unsung heroes. The writers who craft zingers in the dead of night, the stagehands who wrangle props under deadline pressure, the producers who balance chaos with clockwork precision. It was a holistic salute, recognizing the ecosystem that sustains these broadcasts, a nod to the collaborative heartbeat beneath the spotlight glare. This moment of cross-network solidarity wasn't isolated. It echoed a storied tradition in late-night lore. Recall the 2014 passing of Robin Williams, when hosts from Conan O'Brien to Seth Meyers paused their patter for tributes that transcended competition. Or the 2020 pandemic pivot, where Kimmel and Colbert traded virtual cameos, blurring lines in a show of unified resilience. Colbert's remarks fit this tapestry, amplifying a narrative of late night as a fraternity rather than a feud. Yet, beneath the bonhomie lay sharper undercurrents. A subtle critique of corporate overreach where a single quip could derail a career, and a plea for comedy's license to provoke. In an age where algorithms amplify outrage and advertisers flee controversy, Colbert's words served as a bulwark, reminding viewers that humor's power lies in its peril. As Jimmy Kimmel Live gears up for its return, anticipation builds around what Kimmel will unpack. Will he address the suspension head-on, turning it into fodder for a meta-monologue? To Unpacking Media Myths,